Okay, picture this. It's the 1930s. We're in Havana. The heat is it's everywhere. The political tension is simmering, and the music, the jazz is loud, aggressive.
Hmm.
Now, in the middle of all that, you have a trumpet player. He's also an aspiring revolutionary. I mean, that sounds like the setup for a pretty serious historical drama.
It is, yeah. It has all the makings of a noir film or, a heavy period piece.
But then you look closer, because this trumpet player, he isn't just a guy. He's the grandson of Count Dracula.
And the kicker is?
He has absolutely no idea that he's a vampire.
None. And that is the wild premise of the film we are unpacking today. It's called Vampires in Havana, or in the original Spanish, Vampires en la Habana.
I have to say, when I first saw the title, I thought, okay, this is going to be a mess. A 1985 animated film that's a horror, a comedy, a political satire, and for adults.
It sounds like way too many ingredients in the pot.
Exactly. But somehow, it works.
Oh, it works remarkably well. It's a cult classic for a reason.
Yeah.
And our mission today is to really get into the gears of this thing. We want to understand how a movie about a trumpet-loving vampire tells this genuinely complex story about economics, international conspiracies, and freedom.
It's so wild. It's slapstick 1 minute, and then suddenly it's a spy thriller with, actual stakes.
Precisely. It uses these genre tropes, the vampire movie, the gangster film, to deliver something totally unique. It's just a vehicle for satire that hits on so many levels.
So let's start with the basics. Who actually made this? Because it feels so specifically Cuban. The humor, the setting, but the production credits are a bit of a mix.
That is a key point right out of the gate. This was not just a local production. It was directed by Juan Padrón, who's a legend in Cuban animation, and he co-wrote it. But if you look at the companies involved, it's a fascinating international effort.
Okay.
You have the Cuban Film Institute, ICAC, which you'd expect, but you also have Television Española from Spain.
Okay, that makes sense. Shared language, cultural ties. I can see that.
But then you also have Manfred Derniak production from West Germany.
Wait, West Germany in 1985? Working with a state-run institute in communist Cuba?
Exactly. This is the height of the Cold War. You have a capitalist democracy and a communist state co-producing a vampire cartoon. It really speaks to the unique position this film holds.
Wow.
It just managed to cross these hard ideological borders to get made, and that international flavor actually bleeds into the plot itself, which we'll get to.
That is wild to think about. And speaking of things that shouldn't work but do the sound, the trumpet playing.
Oh, yeah.
Usually in animation from this era, especially lower budget stuff, you get some generic brass recording.
Right, some stock music.
But here, the trumpet performances are by Arturo Sandoval.
The legendary Arturo Sandoval.
That just blows my mind. For anyone listening who isn't a jazz aficionado, this is like having, I don't know, Jimi Hendrix play the guitar solos for a cartoon character.
Yeah, it really is. Sandoval's a 10-time Grammy winner, a protege of Dizzy Gillespie. In '85, he was still in Cuba, part of the group Irakere. So when you see the main character, Pepe, playing a solo that sounds like it's tearing the roof off, that is real virtuosity you're hearing.
It instantly elevates the whole thing. You're watching this cartoon vampire, but you're hearing world-class jazz. It gives the film this incredible pulse.
It grounds Pepe's character in something real. His passion is music, and when you hear that caliber of performance, you believe it. You get why music drives him more than, well, vampirism does.
And we should shout out the voice actors, too. Frank Gonzalez voices the lead, Pepe.
He does. He voices Pepe or Pepito, and actually a few other characters, too. Very versatile. And you have Manuel Marin and Irela Bravo rounding out the main cast.
So let's talk about Pepe. Or, to use his full name, Joseph Amadeus von Dracula.
Ah, yeah. A heavy name to carry around Havana.
Especially when you don't know you're carrying it. So walk us through his life. What's his day-to-day before the plot really kicks in?
Well, on the surface, he's just a young guy in 1930s Havana. He plays trumpet in a band, but he's also politically active. The source material calls him an aspiring terrorist, which is a strong term.
Right.
But in the film, he's basically in the underground resistance against the dictator Gerardo Machado.
So he's a revolutionary, planting bombs, running from the police, that kind of thing.
He is. He's trying to change his country. But the irony, the central joke, is that his biological reality is completely different. He is a vampire. He is Dracula's grandson.
But he walks around in the sun. He drinks rum.
He's a daywalker.
And he doesn't think that's weird.
He has no frame of reference for it. See, he's been raised by his uncle, Werner Amadeus von Dracula, that's Count Dracula's son, and Werner has been using Pepe as a test subject since he was a kid.
Ah, so this is the mad scientist part of the story.
Exactly. Uncle Werner has created a formula that's called Vampisol.
Vampisol. Sounds like a brand of sunscreen.
That's pretty much what it is. But on a biological level.
Yeah.
It negates the fatal effects of sunlight on vampires. Because Pepe's been getting this his whole life. He just lives normally. He has no idea that without it, he'd turn to dust.
So Uncle Werner has basically cured vampirism's biggest weakness?
He has solved the primary problem of their existence. And this is where the plot shifts from, a character study to an international thriller. Because a product that lets vampires walk in the sun, that's incredibly valuable.
Dangerous.
Depending on who you ask. And this is where the film introduces its antagonists. I love this setup. It's really a tale of two cartels.
Right. You've got the Chicago mob and the European group. And they both want the formula, but for completely opposite reasons. This part felt like an Economics 101 lesson disguised as a vampire war.
It totally is. Let's look at the Chicago syndicate first. They're led by a vampire mobster named Johnny Terrori.
Johnny Terrori, very subtle.
Very. Now, the Chicago group, they own a monopoly on indoor artificial beach resorts for vampires.
Okay, stop. We have to unpack that. So vampires want a beach day, but they can't. So the mob builds fake beaches in, basements? And charges admission.
Exactly. It's a captive market. If you're a vampire and you want a vacation, you have to pay the Chicago syndicate to sit under a sun lamp in a dark room.
So if Vampisol gets out, and vampires can just go to a real beach for free.
The Chicago business model collapses overnight. Nobody's going to pay for a fake beach when the real one is available. So their motivation is suppression. They want to find the formula and destroy it.
They're protecting their monopoly by stifling innovation.
It's a classic protectionist move. It's the incumbent industry fighting the disruptor. Now, contrast that with the European group.
The multinational vampire.
Right. They see Vampisol completely differently. To them, Vampisol is a product. They want to manufacture it, package it, and sell it.
So they see dollar signs in mass distribution.
Precisely. So you have Pepe caught in the middle. On one side, the mobsters who want to kill the formula to save their old industry. On the other, the capitalists who want to exploit it for a new one.
And Pepe just wants to play his trumpet and overthrow the government.
And, well, stay alive. Which leads to this wild chase through the seediest neighborhoods of Havana. Pepe learns about his heritage, the formula, and suddenly everyone is after him.
And that chaotic energy must be where the animation style really shines.
It creates a great backdrop. You have the texture of the city, the music, and these supernatural forces colliding with gangsters. It's a clash of aesthetics that mirrors the clash of ideologies.
So let's jump to the climax, because this is where the vampire rules get flipped on their head in a way I did not see coming. Pepe and his girlfriend, Lola, are cornered.
Right. They're trapped by the Chicago cartel and Johnny Terrori.
And Terrori thinks he's won. He has Pepe, and he decides to be, a gracious host before he kills him.
In a way, he offers Pepe a last drink. And specifically, he offers him O-positive blood.
Which, in the movie's logic, is like the vintage champagne of blood for vampires. The good stuff.
The most delicious. So Terrori hands it to him, expecting this moment of, vampire satisfaction.
And Pepe takes a sip and spits it out.
Spits it out in disgust. He hates it. He's a rum and roast pork kind of guy.
Imagine the confusion. You're a vampire mob boss. You've cornered Dracula's grandson, and he thinks blood is gross.
But this reaction triggers something for Terrori. He's not just a thug. He's smart. He starts connecting the dots.
Let's list them.
Okay, first, obviously Pepe hates the taste of blood. Second, earlier in the film, Pepe got hit by a lead bullet, and it actually hurt him.
And vampires are supposed to be vulnerable to silver, right? Not lead.
Correct. And third, the big one, Pepe can walk in the sun.
So Terrori does the math.
He realizes the Vampiso formula doesn't just block the sun. It's not a shield. It fundamentally changes the user.
It turns them into humans.
Exactly. Uncle Werner didn't just create a sunscreen. He created a cure. Or, at least, he altered their biology so much they ceased to be vampires.
And this changes everything for the Chicago mob.
Instantly. Terrori loses all interest. He calls the formula worthless.
Because if it turns vampires into humans, they're not his customer base anymore. He can't sell them fake beach trips if they're just people.
It destroys the market entirely. If your customers stop existing as a distinct group, you have no business. It's like if a company cured a chronic disease permanently, they lose all that recurring revenue.
That is such a funny, cynical twist. He goes from, I must destroy this, to, I don't even care about this.
But the conflict isn't over, because the Europeans are still there.
Yeah.
And they're still looking for a way to make a profit.
Right. And the solution they come up with is the most corporate thing I've ever heard.
It is pure satire. The European leader suggests a compromise with the Chicago mob. They propose that they market vampazole, but, and this is the key, they encourage vampires to take only small amounts.
Just enough to go to a real beach in the summer.
Exactly. Take a little bit in the summer, visit real beaches, feel free. But in the winter, stop taking it and go back to the Chicago artificial beaches.
So they want to collude, split the market, we'll sell the drug, you sell the resort, and we keep the vampires dependent on both.
It's a cartel agreement. They want to manage the cure so it doesn't actually cure anyone permanently, turn a cure into a treatment plan.
Man, that hits a little close to home.
It does. It's a critique of how industries often prefer managing a problem for profit rather than solving it. It's Padrón using vampires to critique modern capitalism.
But Pepe is a revolutionary at heart. He is not signing off on a corporate merger.
No way. Pepe pulls an anarchist move. He realizes the only way to break the power of both cartels is to make the information free.
Open source.
He goes to a radio station.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just read the formula. He sings it.
Of course he sings it. He's got Arturo Sandoval's trumpet chops.
He sings the instructions for preparing vampazole to the entire world. But he adds a crucial warning.
Which is?
He tells the vampires to use it sparingly.
So they don't accidentally turn human.
Exactly. He gives them the power to choose. They can be daywalkers without losing their identity as long as they're careful. He gives them informed consent.
And because he broadcasts it to everyone?
The formula becomes financially worthless. You can't sell something everyone knows how to make in their kitchen. The Europeans can't market it, and the Chicago mob can't suppress it. The cat's out of the bag.
Both cartels are defeated. Not by a stake through the heart, but by information sharing.
It's a victory for the public domain. The market value of the secret just drops to zero.
That is a wildly satisfying ending for a vampire comedy.
Yeah.
The little guy winning against massive conglomerates just by using the airwaves.
It ties up all the themes perfectly. And it's not preachy. It's just a really catchy song that ruins a monopoly.
And the movie doesn't just end there, right? There's a little meta joke at the end.
Yes. The film breaks the fourth wall. A vampire addresses the audience directly.
What do they say?
They warn you. They say, be careful, because that guy sitting next to you on the beach might just be a vampire.
I love that, because now, thanks to Pepe's song, they could be anyone. They just blend right in.
Exactly.
So, vampires in Havana, what a ride. And apparently that wasn't the end of the story.
No, the legacy continued. There was a sequel released much later, in 2003, called Más Vampiros en La Habana, More Vampires in Havana.
Simple title. Does what it says on the tin.
It does. It shows the world Juan Padrón created had enough depth to revisit.
You know what I love about this is how it took a B-movie premise, vampire gangsters in Cuba, and revealed this smart satirical layer underneath.
It's a great reminder that animation is often one of the best mediums for satire. You could exaggerate reality to make a point about it.
Yeah.
By making them vampires, Padrón could talk about capitalism and revolution in a way that was funny, but also biting.
It makes you think. The whole struggle was about a formula that could change lives, and the powers that be just wanted to figure out how to monetize it or bury it.
It raises that provocative question. In our own world, are there vampazole formulas out there? Are there solutions, technological, medical, social, that are being suppressed or managed just to keep existing industries profitable?
That is a thought to chew on. Maybe the real vampires were the monopolies we met along the way.
I think there's a strong argument for that.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive into vampires in Havana. I hope you enjoyed this trip to the Caribbean underworld as much as we did. I know I'll be looking at people on the beach a little differently this summer.
Just check if they're wearing exceptionally strong sunscreen.
Will do. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.